What is up, and welcome to a very special Thursday edition of the. Wait a minute, Wednesday? No, what? That's not right. Hey, Sean, hit the right graphic. Tonight's wrestling recap. I'm your host, Jeremy Wallman, with my other host. He is, as I have very, jovially slated him, the charismatic No Nigma, Sean Barber.
What's up?
Hey, turn his mic up.
Turn his mic up.
Or Sean, turn your mic up or do your job.
Well, I mean, he was really far. He got really excited. He was far away from the from the mic.
Talking to your mic, Sean.
Yeah, I know it's first.
There we go.
First rule. Let's grab the stick and talk. Never mind. And the little big brother, he is Joe Watman.
Acknowledge me, Sean.
All right, the chat line is open. I'm not doing that no more every time. The chat line is open for all your comments. We'll answer all of your questions in real time to get your reactions. If you're a member of the Ringside Group Chat on Twitter, you have the opportunity to call in as well. Just hit us up in the group DM. Sean will be monitoring his notifications all night, and we'll shoot that phone number to you. Guys, tonight's show has changed drastically with today's huge news. We're still going to go over some stuff at the end of the show. We may run a little lengthy, not too lengthy, and then we also have some news for our Louisville listeners at the end of the show about when our next CSC podcast show is going to be occurring. So, but tonight's show has changed not only with us moving the day, because yesterday was my birthday and I want to celebrate all day long. But today's huge news in the world of professional wrestling: the man who put the sport on the mainstream map, Hulk Hogan, passed away at the age of 71 due to cardiac arrest. There had been swirling reports that he had been deathly ill for about a month now, even with some reports that he has been in a coma, which was refuted by the family. Hogan didn't only make an impact on the sport of professional wrestling, he made the impact. After his legendary career was over, Hogan was in the news for being racist after tapes leaked of private conversations, and then was frowned upon when he came back to apologize to the locker room, but instead allegedly said, "Make sure you check for cameras," instead of saying, "I'm sorry." The proverbial nail in the WWE coffin was, no pun intended, was the debut of Raw on Netflix just after he spoke at a political rally. You are allowed to judge him on his real life, and I'm fine with that. But tonight we're going to talk about what the character Hulk Hogan did for the industry and our favorite moments, personal stories, and in hindsight, ridiculous storylines that captivated us back then but seem silly. Now, disclaimer, we do know there are some people not happy with him, the person, that will have negative comments. We welcome that. We don't want to seem one-sided, like, we're not. We all, none of us condone the way that he acted and reacted in real life. It was nice to hear that he finally accepted Jesus here recently. So maybe turning a leaf, turning the page. There's been a ton of, and we'll talk about this a little bit later. I'll make sure I write this down in the notes. There's been a ton of comments from all over the wrestling world, from people of all shapes, sizes, races, creeds, everything, of uplifting. Again, Hulk Hogan, the person, is not the same as Hulk Hogan, the entertainer. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family either way. So let's start off with this, and let's get that chat line popping. Make sure y'all are in here. We're going to reverse the order a little bit, which I hate, because I had my screenshots ready. Whoop, had to change that to tonight's wrestling recap as well. Had these in order of what we're going to do, and then the Hulk Hogan news broke, so we're going to have to skip straight to that. All the graphics. All right. His meaning to the industry, I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever that Hulk Hogan's impact on the wrestling world, there may not be any wrestling world, and that's what a lot of people have said from WWE all the way down to OVW. They've shared stories about how, if Vince doesn't go out and get Hogan to put this on the map at WrestleMania 1, for us to get to WrestleMania 1, let me say that differently, then there may not be any WWE Network. There may not be any Peacock. There may not be any Monday Night Raw. There may not be any
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, there may not be any opposition, competition, none of that. So, um, it'd be hard to. And we're waiting to see our guy Sam Basin. He was on his way here as well. Got stuck in some traffic. I think he's going to join home if he can get home. The traffic out there is real bad right now here in the Ville. We do know that, but this meaning to the industry, Sean, is just unparalleled.
Hulk Hogan, he was the first wrestler I remember as a kid. All right. He's colorful, big, bombastic, 24-inch pythons, all of that stuff. Take your vitamins, say your prayers. And I'll say this: if Vince McMahon doesn't get Hogan, I don't know if you have two companies right now. I think you may still have territories. I really believe that. He took Vince's vision and made it what it is today. Without him, I still think you got Memphis wrestling, Florida wrestling,
Sure.
Houston, all those territories. You still have that old system, and he was able to come in and crush it because he just had the charisma. That's the word. I would say he was the first wrestler outside of maybe Gorgeous George that had the charisma to really carry an entire company.
He just had it. I know what Jericho used to say. Joey, your thoughts on the stamp he left, the stamp he started, not left, but the his meaning to the industry.
Well, I would just say that there wouldn't be. I mean, there probably wouldn't be, but there wouldn't be it wouldn't be what it is today for sure. He was the first true sports entertainer. Because before he got to WWE and was Hulk Hogan, he wrestled matches. You're hearing a lot of the old timers talk about how good of an actual wrestler Hulk Hogan was.
Which was weird because when you saw his body of work on the main screen, on the main stage, it was very little effort, very little content, substance, I guess you'd say.
He was the original 5 moves of doom. They always mess with John Cena about, right? He had punches, kicks, leg drop, body slam, and that was about it. But
the worst finishing move in the history of professional wrestling.
Well,
one of.
I would argue that back then it was better because finishing moves were more protected. A leg drop,
mean, like the actual mechanics. I mean, you're talking about
John Studd had a body slam.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The DDT, the body slam, the leg drop. Those are signature. They're not even signature moves now. They're regular every match moves.
Start off the match moves, but again, with his personal life aside, nobody can take away from the fact of what he did for the sport. He took it globally, not just nationally, internationally, like globally, and everybody. Every single you see news stations, you'll see I've seen people from all walks of life that doesn't have anything to do with wrestling today, on Twitter talking about, RIP Hulk Hogan. The amount of everybody knows it. People that have just been born within the last 10 years know who Hulk Hogan is.
Yeah, those people probably known for the latter reasons, but still, yeah, you're correct.
Or they've heard their parents or their grandparents talk about Hogan versus Andre, WrestleMania 3, blah, 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 whatever. They've heard the stories.
Is that graphic? Was Hogan born in 1953?
Yeah, that's what they. Yeah.
So the most startling thing about all of this is that, and this is again, me. We all have a darker sense of humor. The fact that Mom outlived Hulk Hogan is astonishing. Shout out to her. Still kicking it, barely, but no, I'm just kidding. But that shocks me. I would have thought that Hogan was older than her. I would have been incorrect there. I would have lost that double down bet, but it is what it is. I want to go into the next part, personal stories. There's one glaring story, and y'all have heard me tell it 1,000 times on the regular show, on Ringside podcast as well, CSZ. It was 1985, and we were at Freedom Hall. The main event was Hulk Hogan versus Iron Sheik. And Hulk Hogan does his thing. He rips the shirt off, throws it directly at me. And probably not at me, but I caught it. about 20, 30 people start barraging me, trying to take it from me because I'm a kid. I'm a little kid. Well, I'm a kid. I don't know how little I was at 10, but I digress. And I think I was 9, actually. That was the year I turned 10. Speaking of my mom, you know, there's 7 degrees of Hulk Hogan. You only need 1 degree to get from Hulk Hogan to my mom. My mom takes the shirt and stuffs it inside her bra. And the people stopped trying to take
men too. She used to fight men too, so you wasn't getting it from her.
No. She was boxing out. She gave us a very, very good Montrezl Harrell, Terrence Jennings box out. Put it in her bra, and then in true mom fashion, she was a nurse, so she had a pair of medical scissors on her, which she couldn't get through security these days.
I thought about that earlier today too. Like, how did she cut it up? But then that's the first thing that come to my mind.
Yeah, she had.
And again, the getting it through security, I was like, man, you could have took anything into anywhere back then.
Security? No, there was no security. And she took her little gauze scissors out and started cutting up pieces of I had a whole shirt, and I ended up with just maybe 1/8 of a shirt, which I was kind of pissy about, but it is what it is. I caught the shirt. She didn't. Whatever. I may not have been able to keep it if it hadn't have been for her, but that's just like, as far as early wrestling memories, that I remember one time we were at the Louisville Gardens and Joey was so little, maybe 5. This was before the Hogan thing. And we went outside for something. It was during wrestling. I don't remember why. Maybe Dad had to smoke. I don't remember.
I thought it was after wrestling when they were
leaving. Was it after? Maybe it was.
Yeah, you know how people go stand by the exit.
Yeah, but that would be weird because we ran into this guy in front of the building. Why would he have been out front of the building?
Because the exit was right. Wasn't in the back. It was on the
side.
It was like, it was on the side, but like right towards the front.
Well, regardless, Andre the Giant's drinking, like, he's got like a 12-pack or whatever pack of beer, and he's downing them, and he throws the last one in the garbage can and then picks Joey up in the air and puts him on his shoulder. And we're like, okay, yeah, put him down. You cannot put a toddler on your shoulder under the influence. Joey was a big baby too.
Dude, he drank 109 beers in one setting. 6 did nothing to him.
And then we met Jake the Snake Roberts once, didn't we?
Yep.
Wasn't he out in the parking lot drinking?
Yep.
Yeah, and so all of them include alcohol.
Jimmy Hart's Diet Pepsi can somewhere.
Yeah, but it's just it's a part of everybody's childhood. You can't take the happy early memories away. That would be honestly be like, well, I hate Al Pacino because he ordered hits in his mob movies. Well, that wasn't him. That's who he was acting. And Hogan was the actor.
Right. We're remembering Hulk Hogan.
Right.
The character, not necessarily Terry Bollea, the person.
Wes Brocky says, "What's up, Ringside Podcast? This is the Ringside Podcast and Cardinal Sports Zone Podcast collaboration. As I stated early, tonight's wrestling recap. We appreciate you tuning in there, Brockster Lesnar. Sean, do you have any personal? Did you ever get to see Hulk Hogan live?
No, I didn't. I just know that my grandfather is the one who got me into wrestling. I hated wrestling when I was a kid. I wanted to watch cartoons. I'm 5, 6 years old, and he's like, "Nope, we're watching wrestling." And then Hogan comes on the screen. I'm like, "Wow, that's cool."
You saw a dude in tights and thought, "Wow."
Uneffing believable. Oh my god. No. It was seeing these guys running around like hitting each other and beating the crap out of each other, and they're wearing
organized chaos, basically.
Yeah, it was something. And then seeing chair shots. I remember the first chair shots.
Listen, if you grew up in Louisville, the WWF wasn't even the main show in town. Mm-hmm. Memphis Championship Wrestling or USWA, whatever it was called, depending on which week you turned on the TV.
Just Championship Wrestling at some
that
point.
That was 1,000% more realistic than it is now. 1,000% more violent. You could see people busted open the hard way there. Shout out.
They had literal ropes for like the the aisle for where they walked down. Like there was no metal barricades or anything like that.
They threw fire at each other. It was just ridiculous. But we were always the first in line to get tickets whenever the WWF came to town. So who knows?
Uncle Bill.
Absolutely. Favorite moments. Do you have a favorite Hulk Hogan moment, Joey?
Yeah. Mine will always be Bash at the Beach. The Hogan heel turn, forming the NWO, because not only did Hogan put the business on the map, but he at that point again transformed the business. That kind of got stale. WWF at the time was still doing the toddler type gimmicks, the Bastion Boogers and the Goon and things like that.
Yeah, but Jerry Lawler and them did that too. That was something we were accustomed to, I think.
No, I understand. I'm just saying, like, the growth had kind of peaked to a point. And even in WCW, the same thing. It's like, all right, it's time to blow this up and start going back up the mountaintop with it. And that heel turn, that formation of the NWO, that it just set it on fire. And with that happening, then Vince McMahon had to change his mindset and his game plan. Then you got Stone Cold Steve Austin's, The Rock's, Triple H's, the Monday Night Wars into the Attitude Era, and it's been nothing but up since. So yeah, the heel turn, that's probably my number one. And of course I had 3 wrote down, but that's probably my most favorite.
Yeah, and that's really when wrestling you compare it to the 80s and 90s being the youth of wrestling, our wrestling fandom anyway. And it was like when the NWO came around, wrestling grew up. And it didn't. You saw Stone Cold come after that, Rock, Triple H, the Attitude Era. You can pretty much do or say anything on wrestling now that you couldn't say or do back then. Well, actually, Vince said a couple things on camera that you're never supposed to say, and it's still not cool to say. But I digress. I would say my favorite Hulk Hogan moment is got to be it's got to be the Pontiac Silverdome. It's got to be the slam heard around the world. Even though we had already saw him slam Andre once, like 5 years before, they were really
too.
They were really, huh?
The Ultimate Warrior had slammed him as well. Okay.
Ultimate Warrior was WrestleMania 7. This was WrestleMania 3. Or Ultimate Warrior's first WrestleMania was WrestleMania 6. But at that point, I believe, I know Hogan had already slammed him. I think Big John Studd had on dark matches, so I don't know that counts. But I do know I watched him slam Andre the Giant like on Superstars of Wrestling 4 or 5 years before that. And they're like, oh, never been done before. Andre's never lost. And I'm not so sure that was true either. Looking back, we believed a lot of stuff that wasn't true back in the day. But he brought, and we talked, I thought Lance McGarvey, he's a buddy of ours, called me earlier to discuss, just talk about everything. And he talked about how real wrestling used to be and how he hadn't even watched in a while because, things had got, and that's the thing with wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan, you're going to have ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. And luckily we're in an up time right now, especially with, and you don't really have a lot of down times when there's competition. Let me preface that by saying, you may not, but like at the local level for our friends at OVW, it's a cycle. You have really hot times, and then you have reload times. They're reloading right now. Then it's going to be hot, and you're going to have to reload again. So, speaking of, our fine friends at OVW are going off right now. And then our friends at TNA are also, they've got a live show right now. So we're going to try to. I was wondering why the numbers aren't as high as they normally are. It's because there's 2 other shows on right now. But anyway, this is a one-time thing, but we wanted to get our thoughts and stuff in. Sean, did you have a favorite Hogan moment?
when he showed up in WCW. When he pulled up, they had the parade going, and he pulled up in that convertible.
Okay.
Because that was like he had been gone for like a year or a year and a half, something like that. People thought he's retired and he's going to Hollywood and stay there, kind of like what The Rock's done.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, he showed up there and he changed the game then, if you think about it, because then people started taking WCW a little more seriously. Because then he also brought Macho Man right after he left and came into WCW. So yeah, that was a major moment.
Absolutely. And we're talking about your brain, and that's what I was getting with Lance. We talked about how before, and Lance is a little bit older than the rest of us. I'm trying to be generous there. He remembered when there wasn't a lot of mainstream. He's like, he remembers at WrestleMania 1, and it's funny because he only mentioned Mr. T. I said, Lance, you got to remember, I was like, I was only a child then, but Cyndi Lauper was there. Lou Albano was there. Muhammad Ali, Liberace was there. That was their way of kickstarting the WWE to a brand new level, and they have kept some. I mean, even to this day, you've got doofuses like Jelly Roll wrestling at SummerSlam because they're trying to keep that that relationship and that type of thing going. Before we move on to the rest of our regular show and wrap this up, were there any, Sean? We'll start with you on this one. Any what Hulk Hogan moment just made you laugh? I've got one in mind, and I swear if you take it, you're fired from everything.
Oh my god!
If you don't take it, I will.
Mother of pearl.
Now I'm trying to think.
All right, I'm gonna go first.
I know.
No.
The monster truck.
Okay.
When he and Big Show in the monster truck thing. It was so goofy. It was so I couldn't help but laugh at it. We weren't supposed to laugh, but they had didn't they knock it? Didn't he like knock his truck off the? I can't remember how it went. They had the two monster trucks. Yeah, off the building. I was like, oh my god. Who
did Big Show chokeslam off the side of the?
Was it Ray?
Of the hotel at Club La Vila.
Oh, Club La Vila.
Ray Mysterio. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Wasn't Ray the same guy that they threw over the side of Titan Tower during the
Yes, yes, he was.
Good Lord, Ray.
Aleister Black too, I think, or was he the one who threw him over?
I don't remember. That could possibly have been it. The one that struck me funny then, even then, it's even funnier now, was Piper's Pit.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Well, the Hogan and Hogan's like, "What's wrong, buddy?" Hogan, I'm coming for you. And then he grabs his cross, and you see him like dig the cross into his chest to cut him open, and then pull the cross off and throw it down. And Hogan's sitting there like just devastated. And that was the lead up to WrestleMania 3. He didn't want to fight his friend, but he wanted to fight his friend, and that was hilarious to me back then because it's like it came out of the blue. Really, I don't really believe they did a lot of teasing up to that turn. It was one of the first like instant turns that I remember. Joey, what about you?
When they were in Louisiana, WrestleMania, you got.
Oh, Joey froze on us. Joey, you are not with us. We are going to try to get Joey back on here.
Oh. Hear me?
You're back.
All right. Mine would be when they
Hold on, before you go, real quick. I want to go. My second one was
no.
I'm joking.
In Louisiana Mania, when he called it the "Happy to be here" in the Silver Dome.
Oh God!
And of course, instantly, Stone Cold and The Rock are laughing and like getting him, and then later Stone Cold even, I think, ribbed him on it. And just a second one would be when Austin was on the microphone at the Hall of Fame, and everybody was teasing, like chanting for like one more match, and he looked at, he said, "Well, if Hulk Hogan keeps looking at me like that," and I don't think Hogan was ready for it because like the look on his face when Austin turned around and looked at him was like, "Really, brother? Brother. Real quick, one other match that we didn't mention or moment was the Hogan versus Rock Mania match. Like that was huge.
The good old double turn.
Yeah, I kind of looked at Hogan's 3 layers of his career. You know, I thought Hogan Andre at Mania 3, then Hogan heel turn, kind of reviving his career in the middle part of it, and then at the end of it, you know, you kind of got he's got like 3 iconic moments to me, you know, that really stand out. In The Rock versus him when he was supposed to be the heel, and the crowd said, "No, not today."
Well, and that happened. And then they did the opposite with The Rock. It was like they both did they not turn twice? Didn't they? Wasn't Rock like the heel in the face twice during that match on 2 different occasions? I for some
Probably.
reason I feel like I'm going to turn this on TNA while we're talking about this next part. Since we are talking about this next part. No, I'm not, because I'm gonna have to sign in and I don't want to sign in. Well, maybe we will. Let's see. But yeah, it's those are all great points and great great moments. Sorry, I'm distracted a little bit. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say one more time, regardless of what you thought about him personally, professionally, he is the reason we get to watch wrestling today, right? So we know that the family's devastated. We know that got some Santino Marella action going on the TV. We can't really hear what they're saying because we got it muted, but it is what it is. Rest in peace. Praying for the family. Hope that they, Brooke just had twins not too long ago. So, or I don't know how long ago it was, but I know that they mentioned today on the show that another great thing about Pro Wrestling Nation being 24/7 now, they can get on the airwaves and do a live show, and that's what they did today. And they mentioned that she had just had twins. So, say what you may about him, the person, but him, the performer, was he was one of the great. You can't have a Mount Rushmore when you're talking about overall impact. Now, if you're talking about skilled wrestlers, he probably wouldn't be on your Mount Rushmore. But when you're talking about impact, he's got to be on there.
He's the first face on there.
Yeah, and then to see all the out, and I've seen everybody from Sting to Taker, Ric Flair bawling his eyes out. Man, that broke my heart. Apparently,
DiBiase's was really good too. I don't know if you saw his.
I didn't. But Ric Flair revealed that when he almost died a couple of years ago, and Hulk Hogan was funding him his hospital stay, and like they were a lot better friends than I knew. I had no idea they were that close. But you saw everybody from Sting to
the coach.
I didn't see coaches. What's his name? Oh my gosh, he was in Elijah Burke. What was his TNA name?
D'Angelo De Niro, the Pope.
Bless you, or whatever his name. Like even him. Oh, Steve's old tag team partner. Who?
Sin Bodhi even like tweeting out, some words like people that you wouldn't even. But again, it was a testament to the impact that he had on the sport that allowed. He not only laid a few bricks in the road for paving the road. He paved the whole road.
Absolutely. Wes Broccoli says his favorite Hulk Hogan moment was the promo with The Rock and Kane.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's a good one.
Canaanites.
Yeah.
Listen here, brother. So, all right. Well, speaking of TNA, and again, rest in peace. We'll take your comments, your thoughts, your memories, your moments all show long. Our questions of the night. We had 3 questions of the night. Number 1, your thoughts on the NXT TNA partnership. You happy with it? What would you change? I think everybody would change a little something. Number 2, what was your favorite Slammiversary match? If you watched Slammiversary, which I know that me and Joey did, I don't know if Sean did or not. You didn't come over here for Slammiversary, did you? But a lot of you fans did watch it. And then 3rd, what match are you looking forward to the most at SummerSlam? It appears that the card is completed. They may add another match for each night. We'll do that rundown here in a second. But let's go. kickoff Slammiversary recap. Solid pay-per-view, highest attended ever TNA show in North America. One of the first matches we got pleasantly surprised when Enzo Amore came out and starts, cutting down everybody, which you always knew. Maybe he's not a great wrestler. These two are iconic, by the way. Sorry, but he comes out with a guy who looks like a creator wrestler from WWE 2K. I don't even remember his name. And then Zilla Fatu, which I had my concerns about Zilla. I was like, maybe he's too green. He looked every bit of the stud that you would assume he was. Indy Hartwell put the win in Wendy. During the match, there's chance of she's a racist, which was geared towards her opponent. Then after the match, said opponent attacks the ring announcer and gets suspended indefinitely from TNA. I think they're just, she's not caught on. They've not forgiven her like they hoped that the fans would have forgiven her by now. I wasn't there, so I don't know what was actually said and what was actually to be forgiven. But nevertheless, the fans aren't buying it. Who is this? Oh, that's Jakara Jackson, a.k.a. Mara Sade, debuting on Impact. Okay. As soon as I saw her, I was like...
Meta 1.
Yeah, it's Meta 1 now, ain't it? Well, because Meta 2 is injured, and Meta 3 and Meta 4 were Meta released. Anyway, the System takes down Dark State in a Murphy type of match. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't great, but Tina gets a rare victory. Sorry, my display screen is acting up. Over NXT. Loved the Ash by Elegance segment where they were live but didn't know they were live for a few minutes. That really made that.
I did see that.
Hated the end of the women's match, the title versus title match. I do not believe that was the right call there, especially with what you were going to do in the main event. I was okay with it if that meant the main event went a different way. If Trick was going to retain, then Masha should have retained, but I digress. Leon Cook. Absolutely. Leon Slater put himself on the map. He hit a swanton from New Jersey to become the youngest X Division champion in history. 5-star match with him and Moose. Moose continues to impress me. Even in his losses against him and Oba Femi, he's continued to impress me. After the match, AJ Styles comes out, cuts a promo, puts over Leon Slater big time. That's a little disappointed by AJ's involvement in Slammiversary 2. The tag team title turmoil match of the night, 6 stars. Crazy. It was amazing. There was a spot where the one ladder wouldn't break, so they continued to hit the move on the ladder until it broke. And even that time, it didn't break all the way, but you kind of saw Matt Hardy slide the ladder. I'll be like, oh, it's broke. We don't have any ladders out here. I'm going to go back and get a ladder. And then Jeff he goes and gets a controller, hits a button, and what I can only explain, a helicopter drop rope ladder falls from the sky. Jeff Hardy climbs up, and they become your new 4-time TNA Tag Team Champions.
Well, and RIP AJ Francis's nether regions as well.
Flop dollar returns.
He strikes again.
Did you see that, Sean?
Yes, I did.
They hit him off the ladder, and he decides to save a horse and ride a cowboy all the way through the ladder, racks himself. Bless his heart. He's been getting better, too. After the match.
There's a little villain in that match. Myron Reed, he's from Louisville.
Yeah. He was acting as part of the Rascals at that point. After the match, Bully Ray comes out, which was a pleasant surprise, and challenges Dudley's versus Hardy's as the ringing "Where's Devon" chant went throughout that. And Jakara Jackson is siding with the Iconics here, which they're not the Iconics, they're the Inspirationals or whatever. Challenges them to a match. Is it at Bound for Glory, I believe?
Yeah.
Last time ever match for now. The Dudleys versus the Hardys. That should be as excited as I was for Slammiversary. I'm even more excited for Bound for BFG. Where's that at? Where's Bound for Glory at?
I don't know.
Look it up,
I'm looking it up.
And then the main event, it was now is if you all know me, y'all know that. Well, you don't because you never come over and watch wrestling with me, and I normally
Lowell, Massachusetts. That's Bound for Glory. You said, where's it at?
No, I just heard my front door alarm go off.
Oh,
Who that? Okay, live TV. But anyway, so I kind of fell asleep with it because it ran long. That's the thing about it. This ran longer than a normal TNA pay-per-view runs. But I did go back. I did my homework. I went and rewatched everything from this week that I slept through. It was a decent match. I was absolutely let down that Trick won. I love Trick Williams, but it was that was a little bit of a letdown for me. Overall, if I had to rate this pay-per-view out of a total of 5 stars, I give it a 4-star. The matches were exciting. The results for the most part, okay. Almost called her Mandy Rose. Dana Brooke licking the lollipop in the middle of the ring. Gandy. But the action was good. The 2 matches, the Leon Slater and the tag team turmoil match put this. All right. We got Sam joining. What's up, Sam?
What's up? What's up?
What's up? We'll get your thoughts on some of the stuff we've already talked about here in a second. But the main event, like I said, it let me down as much as the 2 matches pushes this up to a 4 for me. Had the main event had a different ending, this would have very easily been a 4.5-star pay-per-view for me. So it kind of sounds like for me anyway, I'm letting my fandom affect the rating of the show. But it was a good pay-per-view. Joey, I know you watched it. Some quick thoughts before we get to Sam.
no, it was a very good pay-per-view. I mean, there were obviously some slow parts of it. The hometown man and Eric Young.
That was the pre-show, right?
Well, but to me, it's part of the show. I mean,
okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander had a good match.
They did have. I don't even have that on the rundown. I don't know.
Yeah, but it was a very good match. But yeah, from top to bottom, and I'm of the mindset that like kind of how we do with WWE and like people. I don't want to use the word complain, but question like how a storyline's going, and we say, well, just let Triple H cook. With WWE, with Trick and JC Jane both having their titles right now, I'm anxious to see where it goes. Like we got Santino going to be wrestling for the North American title. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I can see some of those titles being taken back to TNA, and then possibly Bound for Glory or something like that, having kind of like a super show Night of Champions type thing to where.
That's where I think all the titles come back home. If I was TNA, I would be pissed if Santino Marella, an off-screen character on TNA, is the one that wins the championship to bring it back to TNA when the TNA wrestlers can't do it. And
he's the director of authority.
Masha's a better wrestler than JC Jane. There's JC Jane.
She had help throughout the match, so.
JC Jane, they have glorified her for some reason. I don't know the reason behind that. 3 months ago, she was just a sidekick. She was just everybody's sidekick, and they tried to make her the leader of this faction. Masha would, if this was a real fight, would run circles around her and bust her up. You could make more arguments. So again, had Masha won that match and Trick won the main event, my ratings go up a little bit because it makes a little bit of sense, which leads us to our first question of the night. What are your thoughts on the TNA NXT partnership? What would you change? And we'll go to the fan line here in a minute. For me, what I would change is the imbalance, because at first, when they started this, TNA wrestlers were getting W's, but the last 4 or 5 main events that has been TNA versus NXT, you take the 2 from Sunday night. Then the one before it was Oba versus Moose. The one before it was Jordan Grace as a member of TNA versus Roxanne Perez. And there were a couple of other. I know they let Mike Santana win a match a couple of weeks ago. I don't remember who he wrestled. It wasn't anybody too big, but there needs to be the thing we chastised the AEW TNA partnership for was TNA's wrestlers came won all the titles. They didn't lose any of them to the NXT people, or sorry, to the to the TNA people. They dominated that relationship, and it didn't benefit TNA at all. Now, some would argue, myself included, that TNA's already won because they're of the exposure. You get on twice as many houses, and you're getting twice as many houses with this partnership as you did the last one. And again, you put the bread in the oven, you let it bake. I feel like they've done all this. As aggravated as I am now, once Bound for Glory comes and TNA reigns supreme on that night over NXT, and I do think they'll take a little break from the inter-promotional stuff at that point. Even though I really, really want to see a War Games match between TNA and NXT. I think that would be great. But I think they're setting up for something. So be patient is what I would tell you. Sean, what are your thoughts on the partnership? Would you change anything other than what I said?
I would say maybe have a title change on an NXT show where a TNA wrestler goes to NXT on one of the pay-per-views or one of the specials on TV and wins.
And again, you brought up, so Ethan Page beat Joe Hendry at Battleground, I think. Mm-hmm. So it's still you're still bringing me more examples of them. But yeah, so and I thought it was really cool that they signed that. Didn't make a lot of sense, but they signed the title match on NXT for the TNA title. But I need to see a little bit more. Let the Rascals win the tag titles. I mean, Hank and Tank, God bless them. God love them. The worst tag team champions of all time in any promotion, other than Maximum Male Models. And I'm sure they won the tag titles somewhere around the world. They look like a couple of security guards, which oddly enough, they both were security for NXT at one point. And they work hard. Like, I hate to sound like I'm degrading anybody's performance and stuff, but they're just the worst. Like, I don't want
to Hardys beat them and
hold both. Have the Hardys win them.
Yeah. And they possibly could do that because they have mixed them together a little bit when the Hardys were showing up on NXT. In the background, them asking them for advice and this, that, and other. So, set something up for that, for the Hardys to come in and hold the tag titles in both promotions.
Or do this, have Private Party appear as if they're signing with TNA, have them come in and immediately win the NXT titles, and then be like, this was just a ruse to get us to NXT. We're here now. We're not leaving. Something along those lines, but. Worst tag team, Sean. Putting you on the spot. Hank and Tank or Heavy Machinery?
Hank and Tank, because at least Heavy Machinery.
Hank and Tank or the Conquistadors?
Conquistadors.
No, Hank and Tank.
Hank and Tank or the Brooklyn Brawler and Iron Mike Sharp, who used to tag all the time? It's Hank and Tank. I'm going to answer that for you. Sam, just to catch you up a little bit, we've not really gotten to anything but Slammiversary, which I know you didn't watch. But part of that, we were talking about, and again, we understand that different people will have different comments and thought. Everybody's experience is different. And we're not just asking Sam this question because he's a member of the delegation. We love Sam. We talked about the passing of the wrestler, Hulk Hogan, and that we are trying to keep separate the wrestler, the performer, and the person. Yeah. And it's hard to do because we all know that Hulk Hogan is Terry Bollea, right? This is not a situation where it's Ludwig Kaiser under El Grande Americano's match. Even though we know that too. Do what?
I said, that's Ludwig Kaiser?
I thought it was Chad Gable, but yeah, it's Ludwig Kaiser.
I thought it was Omos.
No, it wasn't Samos. Sam's not wrestling right now. But
Oh shit.
first question is
Boo. Sorry.
you're
I
good.
almost said a bad word. Sorry.
Oh,
I cleared it out.
Can you? And again, you've got a different perspective of this because, I mean, the obvious perspective. But can you rightfully separate the person from the performer in your mind?
I did a long time ago.
Okay.
It was difficult. I was younger, but I did a long time ago, and I'm glad that I did, because it allowed me to remember and experience and enjoy the past of the Hulkamaniacs, the NWO, and things like that. So it allowed me to remember the good times of someone that I used to watch growing up, and
And,
not not have his outside the ring theatrics and stuff like that cloud my judgment as to what he was as a performer.
absolutely.
So
And obviously, and this is another thought that I have. And again, we're different, right? So we have different ways of looking at it. Um, but I wasn't. I heard the recording, but what if that recording was just a one time thing? You know, I've got plenty of. I haven't done it, but I've got plenty of Caucasian friends that have said similar things, joking around, or said similar. They shouldn't have been joking around, but you know what I'm saying. Like, was that a one time thing for him, or did he say stuff like that all the time? I don't know his heart. I know he accepted God into his heart little less than a year ago, and maybe that helped to change him. Maybe he wanted, or maybe he's just a horrible person. Like, we don't know. We're not around him. We don't know him. It does seem like a lot of wrestlers of every background, every race, every religion, every shape, every size have come out and supported him, the performer. Now, I've not seen any of them be like, man, heck of a guy, Hulk Hogan. Well, Ric Flair did. Ric Flair said Hulk Hogan paid for his hospital bills when he almost died a couple years ago. But um, there's been a bunch of people. So that's all I wanted to say. If you harbor ill feelings towards him, uh, listeners, that's fine, because everybody's allowed to feel how they want to about anything, whether we agree with you or not. But what we were trying to do was, because we all had so many good times as kids because of Hulk Hogan, not Terry Bollea. I wanted to ask your opinion because, again, he did something that was very offensive. Um, Terry Bollea did something that was very offensive,
right,
and I just
right.
wanted to make sure that there was a way, and obviously Vince McMahon,
Oh,
who could ever forget him trying to be cool with John Cena and saying, you know, a word he shouldn't have said at the pay-per-view or any time in life. He actually got no blowback for that. Isn't that amazing? He got no blowback for walking up to Cena and say, "What's up, my ninja?" But we're crucifying Hulk Hogan because of like a
well, you also got to think though. What did he actually say? Like he's like, he literally said, "I might be a little racist," and then
road.
he went
It's
into
I
saying
just hope Booker T's not still coming for Hogan, because I'm not ready to lose Booker T.
Hulk Hogan, I'm coming for you.
that was
That was one of the most
And then
hilarious.
he just immediately went.
Oh no,
And
I'm
then Sherry
fired.
had to be like, "It's okay, it's
I'm
okay."
canceled. I'm fired. Sam, go ahead. My bad.
no, it was one of those, like you said, is it wasn't just that for me. It wasn't just that one-off thing. It was how comfortable he sounded. So
Sure.
it kind of let me believe that, okay, had it not been broadcasted or whatever, how often did he do this? Is this how he really felt? Like, is this a norm for him? It
Right.
just sounded so nonchalant, like like it's something that he did all the time. So the way how I differentiate that with the Vince McMahon thing, it was on TV. He might have been trying to stir up some kind of publicity. I don't know. I didn't like it at the time, but it, like you say, he got little to no backlash at all, which was surprising. But that, for me, that was me separating entertainment from real life.
Fair.
So
Because
for
it's like
me,
on the movie Django. You've seen the movie Django, right?
not fully, not the whole way
Well,
through.
but there's like Leonardo DiCaprio and other people in
Yes,
it,
he
and
did.
the
Yes,
words
yes,
being said, but it's a script,
yes.
and certain people probably. I'm sure Samuel Jackson had to sign off on it. Jamie Foxx had to sign off on it. This, that, and other. You know, they're not going to just let you say it freely like that. And probably with Vince's remarks, I mean, Booker T was right there. They shot immediately over to Booker T. There had to be some kind of buy-in on that.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
And that's probably what was put to him. Like, hey, if I say this, we're going to shoot to you to get your reaction, and you do your thing. So, like, I mean, I was just trying to strengthen your point, Sam, that you know it's fiction, and he didn't sound comfortable saying it.
And it didn't make
he sounded so awkward.
It didn't make things any better when Hulk Hogan came back to WWE to do his apologies, and instead of saying "I'm sorry" to Bobby Lashley and to Shelton Benjamin and to guys like that, he was like, "Hey, y'all make sure y'all don't have any cameras around here to catch y'all in the act of talking." Something's going on at TNA. They have been. We have been watching the crowd in ring for about 10 minutes now. There's no action going on. It's a really weird situation, but he definitely didn't help himself. But again, people can change, right? And I know it's easy to just be like, oh, well, we loved him growing up. He accepted Jesus. He's changed. Everything's good. And I'm not that cut and dry. But I do think that if he earned that salvation and he, you know, may he rest in peace, right? But may he also have, and his family's paid for it because he's no longer with them. So anyway, that's what we've been talking about so far. So you're pretty caught up. We finally went to a blank screen at TNA. Joey, what would you change so far? I know we didn't get to that part yet. What would you? And I'm gonna go to the text line because it's been blowing up. What would you change, if anything, that hasn't been mentioned yet?
The one thing I would change is I would have more TNA people on NXT. We've seen a lot more of the NXT people cross over to TNA than we have. I mean, we've seen Joe and Santana. Like, I just don't feel like I would like to see like the Inspiration come over, or the Hardys more, or the System. We finally got to see the System show up on an NXT show. You know, things like that. I would like to just see more TNA people crossing over, like the crossover, if they're going to build for if they're going to build for something like Bound for Glory, or maybe they're building for a Survivor Series War Games match. We just need to get some more of the people. We need to see Leon Slater. I'd love to see Leon Slater versus Javon Evans.
That's a dream match, for sure. But so far, this is who we've gotten TNA. We've gotten NXT from TNA. We've got the Hardys. Mm-hmm. We got Jordan Grace when she wasn't a part. We got Joe Hendry. We've had Masha Slamovich. We had Rosemary. We had what's the dude with all the muscles? Not hiding right. Hammerstone, Stein, whatever his name is. We've had multiple weeks with the System there. At least 3 shows they've been there. The Rascals have been there. First Class has been there. Elijah has been there. Pretty much everybody but Leon Slater and Dolph Ziggler have been there. I probably have missed a couple people. It was not intentional, but so there has been a multitude. I just don't know who else you could bring over. Santana's been on for about a month now straight every week. So
you can bring the Elegance brand. You can be the Inspiration. You can bring.
We've had. Thank you, Joey. Dana Brooke showed up at Battleground.
Mustafa and some of the ex WWE people like Mustafa Ali and Nick Nemeth. Like, I think some people have clamored for that, like especially Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, I think the only person not clamoring for that is Nick Nemeth. Just
not unless it means something. Not unless it means something.
Just by listening to Pro Wrestling Nation, he's been very he's told the company line, but he's been pretty adamant that he doesn't want all the NXT people coming over and taking all their spots, which I get. I understand that completely. Let's get to the chat line. We asked for favorite moments. What did Wes say? I love the NXT TNA partnership. There's so much that can happen. Anyone can show up at any time from both rosters. There's so much. I agree with that. Santino Morella's been there. now as well. Let's see if we got any more. Yes, we are live. TJ says, here's the facts: a TNA wrestler has to hold an NXT championship.
I agree.
I don't disagree with that, TJ. And TJ will be back with us next week with the AEW report. I did watch really quickly. I did watch Dynamite today, and the only thing that really intrigued me was the stuff with MJF and the Hurt Business kind of turning on each other. I don't know if it's a permanent thing, but they definitely teased that it was over. Bobby Lashley was like, I was like this, but now I'm like this because MJF got on him for not backing him up earlier in the night.
And because they went out and helped Edge or
oh yeah, you can't say that.
Cope.
Sean.
That they turned face and helped Cope, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's a business, right? It's a Hurt syndicate, and they accept, and that's what they didn't. All right, we have got a porn bot in the chat. Let's go ahead and block them. Sean's probably screen name there. I don't know. What was your favorite, again, and we'll go to the chat line for this and ask, favorite Slammiversary match? Of course, Wes Brocky giving his weekly hate towards the referees. My favorite Slammiversary moment was watching Daniel in the main event looking at the guy rapping for Santana, and he had a confused look on his face. It was hilarious. Yeah, I would say my favorite match at Slammiversary has to be the tag team turmoil match with Leon Slater and then being a 1B, right? Leon Slater and Moose, 1B, tag team turmoil, 1A. Sean, just off of the highlights you watched, did you have a favorite match?
I did like that Mustafa Ali Cedric
That was a
Alexander
really good match.
They're very.
You know what? I'm changing it from 4 to 4.25. I forgot all about that match. I have no idea why it's not in my notes because I was recording stuff the entire night. Tom Jeffrey says the tag team match Sunday was the best. Yeah, absolutely. Joey, did you have a favorite match?
I think my favorite match was Slater and Moose.
Okay. I would. You could get me to agree either way on that. The Hardys becoming the 4-time TNA champs, along with being the 4th rope tag team champions. You add the NXT tag team champions to that list, and they dominate. I don't know. I need to see more TNA over NXT. They let Zachary Wentz beat Wesley at the NXT pay-per-view. The one might have been Roadblock as well. I don't remember for sure. I need to see more TNA stuff. Tom Jeffrey says, what about Billy Starks? She's a local girl.
Mm-hmm.
I wish nothing but the best for her, but her being Athena's little side chick or whatever, it's not doing anything for me. Her just repeating and calling women hoes and stuff like that, that's not good for anybody. Like if I got on the microphone and was like, man, Athena, you need to beat all these hoes up, I'd be canceled. And yeah, it's okay. I know. Well, you're not a female.
So Sean's like our Billy Starks?
Yes, absolutely. That's why he is the charismatic the charismatic no-nigma instead of enigma, because no is the word he's heard the most in his life. Robert Holt, our guy. Premium.
He's got a bright future, though.
Who, Sean?
Yeah, if he ever takes advantage of it.
Yeah, if he turns on a flashlight.
The dude says 40 plus. What a future.
Hey, Hogan lived to 71, so he's still got 26 years, man.
Maybe.
Whatever it is, the 28.
30.
Robert Holt says we are live. Yes, we are. Are you at OVW tonight? Are you like listening to us and watching OVW? That'd be really cool if that's the case. So that was that one. And then number 3. So I'll ask this. I'm not going to ask this yet. Let's go over. As you can see, we had to do something to make Sean look more viewable on TV. So we put the ringside Tron next to him. So as you can see now, we're going over Monday Night Raw. The Punk Gunther promo started off the show. It was felt a little quicksandy to me. Sheamus versus Rusev. First win. Did Sheamus win that match?
Yes.
Yeah. First victory. I think Rusev was 5-0 against him prior.
Used the shillelagh to win.
Yep. The tag title #1 contender match. LWO won that after some wonkiness. I didn't really care for that. I also didn't care for the fact that they decided to let us know coming out of a commercial break that something they had been teasing on screen for 2 years, A-Town Down breaking up, that they did off screen and just announced. I didn't like that. Lyra and Becky's promo was pretty good. Bailey and Lyra versus Judgment Day, that's what happened out of the Lyra and Becky promo. Bailey went and got them a tag team match. That match was really good. AJ Styles may have been the person of the night, right behind Roman Reigns. Him acting to be like first he was the janitor, then he was the maintenance man, then he was first he was the valet, then he was the janitor, then he was a medical worker. Then it was just awesome, and that just goes to show you can be entertaining in wrestling without actually having to wrestle.
And not be our truth,
right? And not be our truth. Where's he been at? We want truth, and then you give it to us, and then you take him away. Yep. Where's he at?
And then we forget about him.
I'm never going to forget about Truth. He's one of my favorite followers on Twitter. You know, him and John Cena both follow me. Do they follow you, Sean?
No.
Okay. Karrion Kross absolutely mollywopped Sami Zayn. I like that for multiple reasons. One, Sami just gets on my nerves. I loved him in the Bloodline segments. And I don't hate Sami Zayn, but Karrion Kross needed this. Like that. The Stephanie Io match ends wonky again. So that even though it should have been a disqualification, it was ruled a no contest, which was weird to me because it was clearly a disqualification. Naomi comes out, Rhea comes out, ends the match, ends the night worth of action. Really, we've got a meeting of the champions in the ring at TNA now. We've got Leon, we've got the Hardys, we got Steve Maclin all in the ring holding their titles. I'll be excited to go back and watch this and find out what this is about. And then the end of the night was with Roman and Heyman's Jerry's versions of Jerry's kids or whatever. I don't know, Paul's kids, whatever you want to call it. Not Jerry Lawler's kids, but Paul's kids. And it looked like they were getting the upper hand on Roman, and then the Yeet Master comes out, which now we'll get to the SummerSlam card so far. What we have so far is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches. So everybody knows Triple H loves the 5-match pay-per-view card. I would assume with this starting at 6 p.m. that it's going to be, they're going to add another match for both brands between now and then. We've got Randy Orton and Cartman wrestling Drew McIntyre and RuPaul.
Kenny.
It's one of the Logan Paul.
What? Cartman though?
Don't like him. Becky versus Lyra, no disqualifications, no countout. So you will have a winner one way or another in that match. Dominic Mysterio defends his Intercontinental Championship against the man of many, the jack of all trades, AJ Styles. We've got Jacob Fatu versus Solo, which may end up being, that may be the show stiller. Still cage match.
Yep.
Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair will challenge for the women's tag team. Do every one of these matches except for Cartman's match have a title involved in? I think it does. Judgment Day will defend their tag titles versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Tiffany Stratton will defend her women's championship against Jade Cargill. Why did I want to say Parker? Jada Parker. Miss Parker. Naomi versus Rhea versus Io for the Women's World Championship. Oh, okay. Here's the other non-title match. Jay and Roman versus the Bronze, as Roman called them. Gunther puts his championship, World Heavyweight Championship, on the line versus CM Punk. And Cody versus Cena. Street fight. A lot of stipulations. Are you okay with that, Sean? For a SummerSlam? So it's the first two-night SummerSlam ever. Are you okay with the gimmick matches?
Maybe one or two less, but for the most part, I'm fine with it. Only because
they all kind of serve the purpose to support the story.
First two night, I feel like you need it for Cena and Cody, especially because Cena, obviously, he's not what he once was. So I think that'll open it up so you can have more brawling, go out in the crowd, that kind of thing. The Jacob Fatu match is going to be fun because I'm curious, will he try to do a moonsault off the top of the cage? That's my first thought. Because if he does that, that would be insane.
I think you have to, for the Cena Cody one, I think you have to have it something like that because, and I think it tells you a little bit of something that something may happen during that match, and that takes the ref bump out. You don't have to have a ref bump for all the shenanigans that may come in that match. So I think that's primarily probably why there's that street fight stipulation. So that way things can happen without having to do ref bumps or this, that, and other.
Daniel, whoever's in charge of your cameras are forgetting to turn them off during commercials, because now we're watching the guys. And what I've deduced by just sitting here while I'm listening to you all, those four are the only TNA champions that belong to TNA.
Right.
The rest of, except for the women's knockouts titles, they still belong to the Elegance nerds. But
there's 3 stipulation matches so far for SummerSlam. So 3 out of 10. Steel cage, street fight, and the no disqualification, no count out. Last chance match. If Lynch wins, Valkyria can no longer challenge as long as Becky's the champ.
Right. That's what.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying those are the 3 stipulation matches. The rest of them are, right now at least, straight up. Again, we've still got plenty of time for them to. They could change it on the as soon as we're going into it. Oh, just added this just then.
Mrs. Bagwell on a pole match. Austin V, what's up, fellas? What's up, Austin? And Robert says, getting really darn tired of all the run-ins every match. We need more clean finishes. I don't disagree with that. I don't agree with it, but I don't disagree with it. Sean, which match are you looking forward to the most at SummerSlam?
I thought about it. I'm going to go CM Punk and Gunther, because I think that'll be likely the best worked match of the night. You got Gunther, who's great, and then you got CM Punk, a veteran who knows what to do. He'll know how to structure the match. There'll be a lot of just good wrestling, right? You won't necessarily any chair shots or stuff like that. It'll be curious too, because I know everybody thinks that Seth may come back and cash in on Cody and Cena.
Sean, you get one pick. What's your...
No. But I was going to say, what if he comes back and cashes in on Gunther and CM Punk?
Very good question there. What about you, Sam? Which match are you looking forward to the most? And I swear, if you say Cartman and Randy Orton just to make me mad.
No, that's one of the matches I do not like. I don't like it. But
you gotta have celebrity involvement if you're trying to make. Not to interrupt you, if you're trying to make SummerSlam the second half's WrestleMania, you got to put celebrities in there. I don't mind there being a celebrity there. Do I wish it was Travis Scott? The initial plan for SummerSlam wasn't it Seth and the Bronze versus Bad Bunny, Jey Uso, and Roman Reigns, I believe. Or maybe that wasn't for SummerSlam. Maybe it was for Money in the Bank. Regardless, I'm okay because Bad Bunny can wrestle. I still consider Logan Paul a celebrity, so him being in that match, phenomenal wrestler. If he sticks around the business, I'll give him his flowers and say he's actually a professional wrestler. But if it was Luke Combs instead of Jelly Roll, I'd be ecstatic, right? Because I actually like Luke Combs. So that
like
part
that
don't
either.
bother me.
I don't want him to get hurt.
That's why I'm okay with Jelly Roll being in this position. I'm hoping that Drew McIntyre Claymore kicks him all the way back to the Opry. But so go ahead, Sam. My bad.
So I'm struggling between 2 matches, but I give the slight edge to. I want to see Rhea, Io, and Naomi. I think to me, that's probably what probably is going to be the match that I look forward to the most, and probably could be my favorite one. The other one would be Jey and Roman versus Braun Breaker and Braun.
You only get one, Sam.
I was about to say the other one would have been, but I said my favorite one would be Io, Naomi, Rhea.
Well, to add to that, now that's not. I'm going to name a different one just to name a different one, but like to your point on that triple threat women's match, I mean, you already had maybe the match of the year with Io and Rhea, and now you add in Naomi that has made leaps and bounds strides in her character, which also enables her to be a better performer. as the heel. But yeah, I mean, if you're adding Naomi into already match of the year type, two wrestlers, then I mean it shouldn't be anything less than spectacular. So let's see, y'all have named the triple threat, and then I had wrote down initially Gunther and Punk.
That's for Sean.
So you want me to go next, Jeremy, or you want to give yours next? So I don't steal yours.
I don't care if you steal mine. I think there's one that's just like, if you're looking at it on paper, there's one that
John Cena and Cody Rhodes.
No.
Well, for me, that's the one I'm going to go with. So I'll let
you.
Right. See, I'm trying to play to you. You have one that stands out, right? I'll go with John Cena and Cody Rhodes just for the simple fact that there's I'm with that stipulation, like I said earlier. You could go so many different roads with that, no pun intended. Run-ins. Will The Rock come back? Will somebody turn heel and turn on Cody to help Cena? Will somebody come out to turn on Cena, to cause Cena to lose the title? There's so many different things that could happen in that match. To where,
as long as John Cena doesn't turn good guy at the end of the match and Cody turns bad, I'm okay.
Well, you might not be okay.
That's just too obvious. Like I'm over the obvious stuff.
Yeah, you may not be okay because Jelly rolls on the card and that double turn may happen. But
Cena's on the card too, so I'm doubly not okay.
Yeah. So since Sam said a 2 or 1 a B, I'll just say then Tiffany Stratton and Jay. That's just for obvious reasons,
Yeah.
The good old TNA. I mean TNJ.
Yeah. Hey, this is what it is. I'm a man. I have needs.
Okay. I'm 40. I'm a man.
Well, Sean's 40 something,
Yeah. Well, true. For me, and it's like, why do you put a cage around a ring? In the wrestling world, it's to keep people out. But as fans, we know that means people are going to get in and interfere. And I believe we're going to see a new addition to the Jacob Fatu side. I'm not willing to put my name out or put a name out, and I think we see the odds start to get evened. Solo may retain, but I think we see the next inning, so to speak, occur. I think that Jacob versus Solo, they have like Solo when he first came to WWE was a monster, and by making him like the punchline of the bloodline, that didn't help him out any. And then they started feuding him with Roman for the. I love that, but ever since the debut on Netflix, the Raw on Netflix, they've kind of diminished Solo in my eyes. So the title win brought him back to the forefront a little bit for me, and I think that a win and then some sort of chicanery after the match is what's going to go down. But those two guys can go. Jacob Fatu is a star in the making. They're starting to put put all the cards, push all the chips in for him, and I do not hate that at all. I hope they give him more of a chance than they did Jay. I don't think we're done with Jay yet, but I think that Jay is starting to be the novelty act, and I hate that because he's such a good wrestler. He's he's no Bret Hart, right? But he's entertaining, and I hate to see it. Wes Brocky says the one he's looking forward to seeing is Rhea, Naomi, and Io. Robert Holt said the same thing. Tom Jeffrey says, I think Rollins will cash in on Punk. Gunther just to screw Punk. I don't disagree with that.
That's where my head's been at it on it the whole time.
Robert Holt says, I hope Solo doesn't give anyone a stink face. I hope he does. I hope he backs that. I hope he backs that up right on Jacob Fatu, and then
you know what I mean.
I saw Rhea Ripley give Nia Jax a couple of stink faces on social media. That,
and then Io did too.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed those. For some reason, it's changed my mind on the stink face. I'm not really sure why, but I digress. Let's go from SummerSlam to last night's NXT. 2 nights ago, NXT started off with Booker getting his hometown crowd hype. So hype that he forgot the name of one of the wrestlers on the show that night and called her Monica Monroe when her name's Blake Monroe. Now, he explained it off as, during the commentary, he's got somebody in his wrestling school named Monica Monroe, and it was just a faux pas. You have to believe that, because why else would he call Blake Monica? But awful Fatal Attraction segment to start off the show. An epic moment ruined. I don't know if you all noticed this, but during the Jasper Troy Ricky Saints match, as Ricky Saints was walking up the ramp to do a spot where Jasper Troy picks him up and slams him, he steps on the stage and the stage falls apart. They had rigged it to fall apart during the slam, but for whatever reason, Ricky didn't remember he was supposed to stay off that side of the ramp, fell through the ramp, 2-foot drop, no big deal. And then Troy sentons him, which that may have been the spot. He may not have been supposed to slam him through it. That would have been one of the most awesome moments I've ever seen in professional. Even though I hate Jasper Troy, I don't hate him. I dislike him a lot. That would have been pretty awesome, but ruined. Ricky, you ruined it. Monica Monroe's first match happens. It was pretty decent. Really enjoyed the Trick Williams Undertaker promo in the middle of the ring. Taker pretty much called him a punk and then choke slammed him. The North American title was redesigned and revealed, and Ethan Page said what was on his mind. His truth is that Canada is the greatest country on earth, and it's better than the United States. And he starts talking and this and that, and Santino Marella comes out and he's like, "Hey, I live in Canada, but I'm going to bring this title back to North America," which Canada's still in North America, but that's part of Santino's goofy gimmick. And then the triple threat main event was just kind of meh. It wasn't very interesting. I don't like the Yoshi guy. I like Josh Briggs. They should be building him towards a mid card role to prepare him for a heavyweight run down the road. But the Yoshi guy just does not doesn't click with me. And here we go. We're watching. Hey, look, there's Daniel. Please fall, Daniel. Fall. He didn't fall. But the main event was kind of blah to me. I didn't care for it myself. It is what it is. Again, the questions of the night. We had 3 questions for y'all. You still have a couple of minutes to answer them. 1, your thoughts on the TNA NXT partnership. What would you change, if anything? Number 2, what was your favorite Slammiversary match? And number 3, what match are you looking forward to the most at SummerSlam? While we wrap this up, in closing, go to i6tix.com. They can customize anything for you. They do really good work. Sean, can you reach behind you? No Romo, and grab that plaque behind you that we had made. It's in the picture. Sorry, y'all. Sean moves a little slow at his. Oh my God! Did you? Okay. Oh, okay. Can y'all see? No, they can't see. Give it to me, Sean. Something that's never been said before. Okay, so you see the. Did anybody see the episode of South Park last night?
Yeah, I heard about
Holy
that.
heck!
Yeah.
If you haven't, go back and watch like the last 2 minutes of it. They pretty much show the president walking down a desert with no shirt on, and then he lays on the ground, and you see an appendage of his pop out of nowhere saying "Vote for Trump" or something like that. Oh my God! Funniest thing I think I've ever seen on TV. Most disturbing and funniest thing I've seen. www.i6tix.com for your customized wrestling stuff. Sean, you can put that down now. And last but not least, our guy Abdul at CapGo Championship Belts. Dude does amazing work. Again, you can see in the background my custom championship belt there. He can make not only anything you come up with in your dreams, but any of the current championships, and he can make them for a cheaper price. The material is high quality. It's Sean, that's a high quality belt right there. Final bell, closing thoughts. again, thoughts and prayers with his family. Let's make that clear. We're talking about the loss that they had and the hurt it's causing them. We hope that the hurt is minimal and it doesn't last that long. Even though when you lose a father, that sucks badly. Again, I want to give a shout out to the guys at Busted Open: Dave LaGreca, Mark Henry, Bully Ray, Tommy Dreamer, Nick Nemeth, Thunder Rosa, the coach, not Sam, not our Sam. The guy's name is not Sam. Denise Salcedo, Justin Labar. I think I covered almost everybody, and it's awesome. Whenever I'm in the car working and I get bored, I turn it on, and I'm no longer bored. Let's get back to the chat line. Tom Jeffries is saying AJ Dom is. Didn't you already get?
No.
Yeah, he did. He said Rollins.
Oh, you mean he could give
there,
his
and now
match?
he's saying if AJ wins, it's another title. If Dom wins, it's working to make him legit. Yeah, but I think Dom's already kind of legitimized himself as a mid card wrestler. Now, should he ever wear a heavyweight title in the WWE? No.
He will.
You
think so?
His ability, he needs some more years. He needs to prove to me that he can carry the mid card title.
In 10 years, he may have a world title.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
You're right.
You have
like
a point.
imminently.
If Rey Mysterio was a world heavyweight champion, Dominic can be because he's more believable because he is bigger.
Rey Mysterio didn't look like he was a waiter at Valero. Rey Mysterio didn't look like he worked at Pep Boys. Rey Mysterio also didn't look like he was the guy at Valvoline's Instant Oil Change that asked you if you want your air filter changed with your oil change. Dominic just doesn't have a professional, to me, doesn't have, and there's the new North American Championship on the screen if you're watching TNA right now. Pretty slick looking belt. It's got the Canadian flag as a background, and instead of the gold North America, it's all the stuff is silver on it. It looks pretty smooth, but to me, Ray looked believable because I watched him beat every cruiserweight in America for about 3 years. I watched Dominic come in,
lie, cheat, and steal.
Come in during the pandemic, which was not his fault, but it was kind of just the way he came in was kind of. So to me, even though he's been in the business about 5 years, it only feels like he's been there just a couple. So
we're celebrating 20 years of Dominic Mysterio this year.
That's not true. Technically it is because he was on Nitro when he was like 7 or 8 years old. But
yeah,
no, when it was on WWE with Eddie and Ray feuding.
Eddie and Ray for the custody was WCW.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it was WWE.
Was it?
Match of SummerSlam, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
20 years in WWE for Dirty Dom.
I'm not doing that.
And he was taller than Ray then.
It's kind of like Kevin Owens' kid. Kevin Owens' kid's like 6'8" or something. He's like
he's a tall kid.
You're gonna see Owen Owens.
Owen Owens.
Well, that's his name. That's his kid's name. He named him Owen after Owen Hart.
We have to go by his real name, Owenstein. I don't think it will work. Owen Owens.
I don't know. 00. Put him in the new Four Horsemen and be like, you got Nick Flair and 00.
Nick
Owen Owens. Listen, that's
Dirty
about
Dom is the leader.
There you go. Look, we hope you all enjoyed tonight's show. Join us next Wednesday as we preview the first ever 2-night SummerSlam. We'll go into depth on that preview. For our Cardinal Sports Zone show, we were tentatively scheduled to do that show on Sunday, August the 3rd, and then we realized I made we had the contract signed months ago, not even thinking when SummerSlam was. So we're going to try to move that. If we can't, we're going to still bring that in studio interview with Mike Rutherford to you on that day. If not, we'll figure out a different date and time that suits him better. But for Sean Barber, for Sam Bays, and for the Joey's arms flashing for some reason.
Doing?
I'm trying to put the one up, but
it almost looked like a middle finger.
My background messes it up.
It kind of looked like Star Trek when they're trying to go from one place to the other. But for Joey, for Sean, for Sam, for myself, this has been the Ringside Podcast and Cardinal Sports Zone podcast production of the Wednesday night. Tonight's wrestling recap. Until next time, brother, we'll see you at ringside. Good night, everybody, and wait for me to hit the clip for the outro. We'll see y'all soon. The proceeding is a Ringside Podcast.